This is the Synthetic Signal Report for Tuesday, March 24th, 2026 in the afternoon. Today's analysis tracks the launch of the Apple Business Platform, the sudden shutdown of the Sora video platform by OpenAI, and Disney's subsequent withdrawal from its $1 billion partnership. We examine the Federal Communications Commission's ban on foreign-made consumer routers, the $7 billion insulin settlement between the Federal Trade Commission and CVS, and the infrastructure shift toward direct current power in AI data centers. Finally, we look at a signal from the future regarding how language models perceive magnitude using psychophysical laws. Apple has launched Apple Business, a unified platform designed to centralize device management, technical support, and cloud storage for organizations. This move integrates three existing services: Apple Business Essentials, Apple Business Manager, and Apple Business Connect. The platform is designed to handle the full life cycle of corporate hardware, from initial deployment to security patching and employee offboarding. Technical details indicate the service provides a managed version of iCloud for work-related data, allowing businesses to maintain administrative control over encryption keys while preserving the user experience of a standard iPhone or Mac. This represents a significant move by Apple to capture more of the enterprise market by offering a vertically integrated alternative to third-party mobile device management software. In a major strategic pivot, OpenAI has announced it will shut down the Sora generative video platform. This decision has triggered the immediate termination of a $1 billion investment deal with Disney, which was signed earlier this year. Reports suggest OpenAI is refocusing its resources entirely on enterprise AI and the development of its next-generation reasoning models. Disney's exit appears to be driven by the loss of the dedicated animation tools promised during the partnership. Industry analysts note that the high compute costs and legal complexities surrounding generative video training may have made Sora commercially unviable compared to OpenAI's rapidly growing enterprise software suite. This move signals a cooling of the generative video market as major players prioritize stable, high-margin corporate products over experimental consumer media tools. The Federal Communications Commission has issued a ban on the import of all new foreign-made consumer routers, citing systemic security concerns. This directive specifically targets the home networking market, where Chinese manufacturers currently control approximately 60% of the United States supply. The Commission's report warns that these devices often contain hard-coded backdoors or vulnerable firmware that can be used to create massive domestic botnets. Under the new rules, any router manufactured outside the United States must now undergo a rigorous security certification to be placed on the covered list of approved equipment. Existing devices currently in homes are not yet being seized, but retailers are prohibited from importing new stock. This is a significant escalation in the effort to secure the digital edge of the country's infrastructure. The Federal Trade Commission has reached a settlement with CVS over charges that its pharmacy benefit manager manipulated the price of insulin. The government alleged that CVS used its position in the supply chain to impede access to lower-cost insulin products, favoring higher-priced versions that provided larger rebates to the company. Under the terms of the deal, CVS must change its pricing practices to ensure that more affordable options are available to patients. The Commission estimates this settlement will save Americans approximately $7 billion in out-of-pocket costs over the next 10 years. This case highlights the growing regulatory scrutiny on how pharmacy benefit managers influence the actual price consumers pay at the counter. As AI chips become more power-hungry, the standard data center infrastructure is hitting a physical limit. At the recent NVIDIA GTC conference, companies including Delta, Vertiv, and Eaton showcased new designs that transition data centers from alternating current to direct current power. Traditionally, power is converted from AC to DC multiple times as it moves from the grid to the chip, losing energy as heat during each conversion. By moving to a native DC architecture, data centers can eliminate these conversion steps, significantly increasing efficiency and reducing the cooling load. This shift is becoming a necessity for the latest chip architectures, which require massive, steady streams of power that traditional AC systems struggle to provide without significant waste. Under the radar, new research from the AR14 AI repository has identified that transformer language models represent magnitude using Weber's law. This is a signal from the future because it bridges the gap between artificial intelligence and human psychophysics. Researchers found that models do not see numbers on a simple linear scale. Instead, they use logarithmic spacing to represent magnitude, much like how human senses perceive changes in light or sound. This explains how models can handle vast differences in scale within a single prompt. Understanding this representational geometry allows developers to build more precise world models for autonomous agents, ensuring they process physical and numerical data with a more human-like understanding of proportion and scale. Community chatter is focused on a significant legal ruling in New Mexico, where a jury found Meta liable for $375 million in penalties. The court ruled that Meta engaged in unconscionable trade practices that harmed the mental health of children. In the security space, NVIDIA has issued patches for high-severity vulnerabilities in its Triton inference server and Megatron LM framework. These flaws could allow for remote code execution or denial of service through malicious quantization configurations. On the tool front, a new utility called Use Computer is trending on GitHub. It provides a fast automation interface for AI agents to control desktops via accessibility snapshots and simulated clicks. Additionally, Mozilla has released Firefox version 149, which includes a built-in VPN offering 50 gigabytes of monthly data. Finally, the security community is sounding the alarm over the public leak of the Darksword exploit kit on GitHub. This kit contains a chain of vulnerabilities capable of compromising older versions of iOS and is now accessible to low-skill actors, prompting an emergency update recommendation from Apple.